it is time now for Jonah to receive his talit, his prayer shawl, his marker of being a Jewish adult, to wrap himself literally and figuratively in the tradition of our people and in the tzitzit, the fringes that remind us of the commandments, of all the things that matter most to do in this life. And so I invite forward Rachel Seton and David Seton to give Jonah his talit.
Jonah, today you're surrounded by your friends and your family and your Jewish community to celebrate this incredible day when you, my son, become a bar mitzvah. You have worked really, really hard, and your dad and I are so very proud of you. Your journey, your Jewish journey, began when you were 1. You would accompany your sister here to Temple Isaiah every Sunday. It was through Temple Isaiah we first witnessed you seeking your independence at a very young age. In fact, it was during a Kalanu family retreat at Camp Newman in Santa Rosa, you were about 3 or 4, when you decided to hike up to the Jewish Star on your own, and yet from the very top of the mountain, looked down at me and your dad and everybody and said, Shabbat Shalom. You were thrilled. We were petrified. You were up on a mountain by yourself, and I know there are several people here that remember this day, and your dad and I ran. We ran to the top of the hill to get you. And when you got there, while we were so upset, you just grinned at us and laughed and said, see, I knew I could do it, and I did it all by myself. You were so little, but you were so confident even then.
May you always believe in yourself. May you always pursue what you love.
Temple Isaiah is also where we saw you embrace your love of nature through family campouts. Many of you remember that here as well. You were so happy to find sticks and have the older boys teach you how to make a bow and arrow out of them. Now you find that same beauty in the mountains.
May you strive to make the world a better place than you found it. Protect the environment you enjoy so much.
Temple Isaiah is also where you found your love and joy for Gaga. Now you are a tournament winner of Gaga.
May you carry our Jewish heritage and traditions to the next generation. From Gaga to prayers, it is now your responsibility to carry these traditions forward. Not only is it a duty, but a gift to do so, a gift to yourself and the next generation.
Temple Isaiah is also where you learn the importance of giving back to those who are a lot less fortunate than we are. We see your namesakes, Joseph Sutton and Max Kerman. Every time you volunteer to help others, every time you share your sadness for others and others' pain, and then you smile and you try to make the world a better place.
May your kindness lead you to a life filled with loving friends and family. May your goodness serve as an example to those around you.
Today, this moment, we are here to celebrate you and the man that you've become. And while we have driven you to and from Temple Isaiah since you were 1, and we supported you, you indeed did this work all by yourself.
May you always remember this day and your Jewish ancestors who came before you and made it possible for you to stand here today. Jonah, our advice to you as you stand on the verge of adulthood, life is for living. And as we say on the mountain, go big or go home. As you know, doing great things doesn't come easy. Skiing a double black diamond takes learning, dedication, energy, focus, commitment, observation, thoughtfulness, sound judgment, and nerves of steel. You've proven you can do some awesome things. Scott Chute, check. Sherwood Cliffs, check. A mitzvah project, check. And now a bar mitzvah, check. So when you face challenges in the future, you know you can be successful. So take all those great qualities of strength and skill, your kind and big heart, your Jewish heritage, and continue to do great things. Great things for yourself, for your family and friends, for the community, and for the world. We know you will. We couldn't be more proud of you. We love you, and Mazel Tov.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahit atef batiti.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
Jonah, as an adult Jewish man, is now able to lead the congregation in prayer. And so we turn to our threshold moment of entering into our prayer service, the Chatzi Kaddish, on page 106. Please rise as you are able.
Yikadal v'yikadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ba'amadi v'rachiyoteh v'alchnih mahuteh. Ba'yachon u'mechon u'chayed beit kodesh Yisrael. Ba'agala u'mizman karib v'meru. Amen.
Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'l'mei yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishrabach v'pa'ar v'trumam v'naseh v'tadar v'taleh v'talal Shemei Kedusha B'rihu Le'lam mikol birhata v'shirata Tishbehata v'chamata Damiran v'amal v'meru. Amen.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto La'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. The Ve'ahavta are words of offering up love, page 116.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levacha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shofrecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam leot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמן.
כי מציון תצא תורה ודבר אדוני מירושלים. And now I call the generations of Jonah's family for the ritual of passing the Torah. Harlan Kerman, Yvette Seton, Katie Ross, Lily Ross, Jackson Seiden, Jude Kerman, and of course Rachel and David and Zoe to pass the Torah to Jonah. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Baruch Shenatan Torah. Jonah, in just a moment, as you know, we are going to put the Torah in your arms. And we pass it through the generations that came before you, as it is with great intention the Torah reached you today. Not coincidence. There were so many generations, even beyond where your grandparents are standing, even when you think back to all the generations that came before them, that always made sure Torah would reach that next generation. All the way back to Mount Sinai, which of course you're reading for us today. You'll all hear soon that we are hearing the words of the Ten Commandments today. And if you can imagine that day that Moses went up to that mountain, not unlike the mountain at Camp Newman, where you went up, to receive Torah and to make sure that Torah would be passed down from generation to generation, and now it's in your arms. And you know, because we've practiced carrying it around, that the Torah is a little bit heavy, but so is the responsibility that we're putting on your shoulders. We are asking you now to be that next link in the chain, so that the line doesn't end with you. You can see here on this bima, there's room for that line to ensure that you will keep Torah alive for the generations to come. So it is with great pride and great joy that we pass you the Torah, but also with great expectation that you will be that next link to carry Torah forward and to carry it lador vador from generation to generation. We are gifts and we are blessings. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. Ledor vador nagid kol lecha. Ledor vador we protect this chain. From generation to generation, Ledor vador. And now with the Torah in your arms, we invite you to sing the words of the Shema in the Torah service.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Special Torah portion. Of course, it's the Torah. Every portion is incredibly special, but even by those standards, as you've heard from the cantor, this is a meaning-packed parsha. It's called Parshat Yitro, and in fact, the first thing that happens in the parsha is that Moses' father-in-law, Yitro, comes to visit the people. Notably, Yitro is himself not Jewish. He's not from the children of Israel. He is actually the priest of Midian, a foreign people with a foreign faith vis-a-vis the Israelites. And I think that that's a very powerful statement of inclusion and the unity of humanity, that it is Moses' father-in-law, who is the priest of Midian, who comes to join the people of Israel in a unified celebration of togetherness and love. And from that moment, the story then progresses into the coming together at Mount Sinai, at the base of the mountain. And as you'll hear in a moment, Jonah Seton knows a thing or two about the bases of mountains. There's thunder and lightning. There's a feeling of awe. You can feel it in the air. The language is very powerful. And the climax of all the thunder and all the lightning is words. The words of the 10 Commandments that teach us and guide us, that give us laws for the most important things to do with our time on earth. And these are the words that you will hear Jonah chant word for word this morning. So on that note, I invite you to turn to the larger of the 2 blue books at your seats, a printed copy of the Torah. And you will find on page 539 that this is where the verses of the 10 Commandments begin. And we will begin to call up members of Jonah's family and dear ones to come close to Torah while Jonah reads. And we will begin with Shemot, Exodus, verses 1 through 4 on page 539. So on that note, we begin the chanting of the 10 Commandments. Please rise as you are able.
If you are called for an aliyah to pronounce words of blessing, you'll come and stand over on the rabbi's side to pronounce the words of blessing, and then you'll stand on my side until the next blessing is finished. For the first aliyah, we call up Jonah's grandmothers, Yvette Seton and Lori Kerman, and Jonah's sister Zoe. Tamod na haolot l'aliyah Torah.
God spoke all these words, saying, I, the Lord, am your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods beside me. You shall not make for yourself a sculptured image, or any likeness of what is in the heavens above, or on the earth below, or in the waters under the earth.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet ve'olam natan b'torenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
I'm so proud of you.
For the next aliyah, we call up Jonah's aunts, Lisa Ross and Dana Drake Seiden. Tamod na haolot l'aliyah Torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hambarach.
Baruch Adonai hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah hambarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'am.
Yenake Adonai et Asher Isa et Shemo Lasham.
You shall not bow down to any sculptured image or serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am an impassioned God, visiting the guilt of the parents upon the children, upon the third and upon the fourth generations of those who reject me, but showing kindness to the 1,000th generation of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not swear falsely by the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not clear one who swears falsely by his name.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. For the next Aliyah, we call up Jonah's parents, David and Rachel. Yamdu David Asher v'Rachel Leah Aliyah Torah.
Our Torah reading continues on page 547.
Baruch Adonai Hamorah.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Zachor et Yom HaShabbat LaKosher Sheshet Yamim Ta'avot Ve'asita Bo Melaktecha Vayom HaShavi'i Shabbat LaAdonai Elohecha Lo Ta'aseh Bo Melacha Ata Uvimcha Uvitecha Abdeha V'amata Uhemtecha Vegelha Asher Bisharecha Ki Sheshet Yamim Asa Adonai Et HaShamayim Ve'et Ha'aretz Et Hayam Ve'et Kol Asher Bam Vayana Vayom HaShavi'i Al Ken Be'ra Adonai Et Yom HaShabbat
Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath of the Lord your God. You shall not do any work, you, your son or daughter, your male or female slave, or your cattle, or the stranger who is within your settlements. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth and sea, and all that is in them, and he rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. And now for the last Aliyah, we call Jonah for the very first time as a Bar Mitzvah. Yamod, 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 Habachur Bar HaMitzvah, Yosef Chaim ben David Asher v'Rachel Leah Aliyah Torah, Chazal.
Our Torah reading continues on 554.
Baruch Adonai Habarach
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torah Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
Kabed et aviha v'et imeha, lema'an yarichu yameha, al ha'adamah, asher Adonai Elohecha noten la, lo tirza, lo tin'ah, lo tigno, lo ta'aneh reha et shoker, lo tachmod bet reyecha, lo tachmod eshet reyeha, ve'avdo va'amato, v'shoro v'hamoro, ve'ho asher reyecha.
Honor your father and mother, that you may long endure on the land which the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male or female slave, or his ox, or his ass, or anything that is your neighbor's.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Be seated.
Yasher Kalach, Jonah. When we want to wish someone good job in Hebrew, we say Yasher Kalach. Say it with me. Yasher Kalach. Yasher Kalach, Jonah. We are so thrilled and proud of you.
Please be seated.
Jonah will now give his Devar Torah, often translated in English as a sermon or a speech, but it literally means word of Torah, which itself means word of teaching. Now, Jonah's been in school a long time. He's been in a lot of classes with a lot of different teachers. But today, Jonah becomes our teacher, and we will learn from Jonah's words. Each generation, throughout our ancestors, has asked questions and had their own views about what this text means. Today, Jonah joins that great chain and shares with us what he has seen in the text that no one has seen till he came to do it.
In my Torah portion, Moses goes to Mount Sinai to get the Ten Commandments for the Israelites. God had just saved the people from slavery in Egypt and brought them into freedom. If I was one of the Israelites standing at the bottom of the mountain hearing God, I would think, wow, that is so cool hearing a voice from the sky talking to me. I would also question what is going on because that's not normal. The Torah says the people hear God's voice giving them the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments give the Israelites instructions on how to start their lives as a free people. Don't steal, don't murder, don't worship anything other than God. Celebrate Shabbat like we are doing right now, and other basic ways of living as a good person. Teaching all of us what to do is right, do the right thing. God is giving the people this incredible gift by bringing them together at the bottom of the mountain, talking from the sky so they can all hear him, and giving them what they need to know to start their future. All of this is on top of saving the people from slavery. Throughout their journey out of Egypt, they kept questioning whenever God or not would there be there for them. This moment at Mount Sinai gives them shared rules, time together to talk to each other. All of this is built trust between the people and God. The Israelites and God are just at the beginning of the relationship. When I just begin a new friendship, it takes time for me to trust them. You have to give them time, and if it is a new group like soccer or ski team, you have to set rules for how we will get along. This is similar to God and the Israelites. They need to learn how to get along, and the Ten Commandments are the rules that they will need to follow. As many of you know, I love to ski and therefore spend a lot of time in the mountains. When I'm sitting at the bottom of the mountain, it feels unpredictable, and anything can happen to you at any time. So I prepare myself for all the things that might happen when I'm out on this road. The Israelites might have felt the same way, not exactly sure what happened next, but who or what to trust. We all need to find trust in a relationship in our lives. Recently, I was at the top of Sherwood Cliffs at Alpine Meadows. I was scared because it was steep and icy. At first, I wasn't sure I could do it, but my dad helped me believe that I could do it. He reminded me of the rules, or the 10 Commandments, of the big mountain skiing. Stand vertical, weight forward on the downhill ski. Engage at the edge. He also reminded me I had done harder runs before, and that he would be with me as we went down the slope together. I had to trust him just like the Jewish people will have to trust God to lead them to the promised land. This Torah portion teaches us we have to trust people we all know well and build trust with people that we are just meeting. This is important to set some rules so we have clear expectations for how we are going to behave. We also need to spend time getting to know each other so we can build trust. For those who have studied Torah, we know that it would be not always easy for the Israelites and God, just as it would not be easy for any of us to continually trust each other. But with hard work and time and effort, we can all come closer to trusting each other more. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Yay!
In addition to everything that Jonah has done to prepare for today, from learning Hebrew to learning the prayers and learning how to chant Torah and studying and teaching Torah, Jonah understands that becoming a bar mitzvah is not simply a ritual that happens on Shabbat morning in Temple Isaiah. Becoming a bar mitzvah is going on a path toward a new life of responsibility and knowledge, and Jonah has taken both of those pursuits on with great aplomb. Today, he will share with us how he has taken on that responsibility piece, the part of what we call in Judaism, tikkun olam, repairing this broken world that we live in, understanding that there are so many things that can be made better. And so Jonah is going to share with us now how he has taken that on personally for himself, his own mitzvah project.
For my mitzvah project, I raised money and awareness for an organization called Achieve Talk. Achieve Talk helps people with disabilities ski or do other really cool outdoor sports. When people with disabilities have an opportunity to do outdoor things like skiing, it makes them happy and boosts their confidence. I hope to arrange an informational session for my ski team at Achieve Talk. All of my teammates and Achieve staff enjoyed it and are planning on an additional seasons for other Alpine Meadows ski teams. Additionally, I have raised about $6,000 for Achieve. These funds will go towards the purchase of a sit ski, which helps people with leg disability ski. I hope to continue supporting Achieve Talk as I get older. It is a pretty incredible cause and hope that all of you will join me in supporting Achieve Talk as well. It's never too late to give.
Jonah, I am so proud of you. Yasher Kah, what a great, great job you have done this Shabbat, and not just today, but throughout our sessions together, and indeed throughout your time growing up at Temple Isaiah and in your family. You have shown such vision and such momentum. In each of our sessions together, you saw a little bit more than you saw before, where some would have looked at the 10 Commandments and said, oh, well, clearly these are rules and that's it. You saw more. You said, wait a minute, these are not only rules, this is also a story about relationship building. This is also a story about coming together. This is also a story about building trust, just the way you shared with us just now. And the idea that coming together at Mount Sinai could be an experience of joy. And that all of this, the whole package, the rules and the moment to build trust and the joy of it would all go hand in hand. You saw that. You saw all of that. It came from you. And you had the momentum in each of our sessions to go a little bit farther than before and to keep pushing and exploring and driving. Just like running up that mountain at Camp Tawanga, you have that drive. You have that spirit. You have that bounce in you. And that is a blessing in this world that is too often a world with, in a world that can have apathy, in a world that can have, oh, why bother? You have the spirit, you have the spark, you have the drive and the momentum and the vision, and that is a blessing that you have within you. Now, I have to say, I'm not a skier. I'm a layperson when it comes to skiing. But it seems to me that vision and momentum have got to be indispensable elements of skiing. To see the land in front of you, to know how to navigate it, to look carefully, and not just to sort of overlook something that could be actually quite significant. And that momentum, that drive down the mountain that I feel in you, even simply sitting on a sofa, it's in you. And that's an incredible gift and an incredible blessing. And I think you've shown us this morning not only your vision and momentum, but also you've shown us the vision and the momentum that the Torah gives us. The way that we see these laws in the Torah that showed our ancestors things they'd never seen before, right? They came out of abject, absolute slavery. And now all of a sudden they have a commandment that everybody gets a day off. Everybody gets Shabbat. No matter how powerful you are or whether you're a servant, everybody alike. And you showed us in you the same kind of vision and momentum that the Torah showed our people that day on Mount Sinai and has been showing our people every day since then. You joined that chain of showing your vision and your momentum, just as everyone before us has done according to who they are. But no one has been Jonah Seton until now. Now you've shown us your vision and your momentum. And you're going to go on to do great things with the spirit of who you are in middle school, in high school, and beyond, in your skiing, in your guitar playing, which I could say all the same things about how much you love guitar, how much it excites you, and in your studies, and in your learning, and in the way you treat people. You're going to bring all that spark with you. You'll go on into the future, even one day, yes, out of high school and into college and beyond, and you won't always know what the circumstances will hold, but you'll always have the tools in your toolbox to respond with them, just like you do on every mountain slope, and just like you've done in interpreting the Torah and sharing your teaching with us today. Mazel tov. Congratulations.